Hi, I'm Helen and you're watching Reverb. We've got lots of news, interviews and everything that's happening in the Irish music scene and beyond, so stay tuned. The Meteor Awards were an amazing night for Irish music, but even more so for the Blizzards, who were nominated for 3 awards, played live on the night, and finally took away the prize for Best Live Performance for the 2nd year running. I caught up with the lads recently to find out a little bit more about the secret behind their success. Hi, I'm here with the Blizzards, with Brezzy and Aidan. Guys, we've just played your single Postcards from your 2nd album, and I have to say it sounds a lot more mature lyrically and sonically. What has changed since you made your last album that's brought this on? This maturity?
I suppose we've got older, which is fun, but I don't know, I mean, a lot of the songs on the first record were written, you know, in college and stuff like that, and you're kind of going through and everything's great and you have no problems, and, you know, everything you sing about is relatively humorous because that's what your student days are like. So, and then, you know, we're not in college anymore, so the songs came out. The Postcards especially, I think, was a departure for us, and we were a bit worried about coming across more of it in Moni, like, and
you know, singer-songwriter.
No, more, yeah, kind of like the Fray, you know, kind of always giving out about the world, and we just didn't want that to happen to us, and we didn't want people to think that's what we were. But Postcards is meant to be uplifting. It's meant to comfort people. It's not meant to make them sad or want to watch Dawson's Creek or anything like that. It's about trying to cheer people up about something that is very hard to deal with. And you know, that song came very naturally to us and came out in 25 minutes. And it wasn't something that we sat over for weeks to get right. It just happened very quickly, and it means a lot to the band, and I think hopefully it'll mean a lot to some people to hear it. The thing about the Blizzards as well is we write with everybody in mind, and our live shows in mind more than anything. If we think in our head this isn't going to work live, or, you know, we think people are starting to put lighters up in the air and, you know, 10-minute, you know, overindulgent tune, we won't do it. Like, if it doesn't work live, it won't go on the album.
And the live experience is very important to you as a band. Like you have said, that the best way to experience your music is to see you live, but hopefully you try to get that across in the albums as well.
It's difficult, though. It is difficult on the record. Like, even with the second record, which we're much happier with sonically, we still couldn't. It's impossible. I mean, back in the 60s and 50s when bands were recording, they were put into a room and they played fully live, and, you know, that's the way recording should be. But now it's turned into a computer process where you're basically put through a computer, and, you know, as I said countless times, if Paris Hilton can record an album, anybody can record an album. And you know, we wanted to record this album without using computers, full stop, but we just didn't have the luxury or the budget. You know, that costs hundreds of thousands to record that way, you know, and it takes, you know, Guns N' Roses taken 4 years to record an album. That's because they don't use computers, and that's why their record sounds so good. And
you were very, like, I know you had a lot of trouble trying to find a studio with the right sound, and you moved a lot. Like, how did you end up? Really? How many times did you move studio?
Was it 4? I don't think it was 4 times. Yeah.
4 times in one day?
Yeah. A couple in a day anyway, yeah, definitely.
Oh my God. And so where did you end up eventually recording?
Well, we went through about 4 studios, and I ended up back in the same studio I did the first album in, but the other guys got to experience different places. But we started off in Windmill Lanes, I think.
We started in Windmill, and like what we did then was we built 3 studios within Windmill.
Oh my God.
At one stage, we had a producer who, in fairness, is a genius and is he's one of the best in the world. Yeah, he is, amazing. And there's no doubt about it, but he is incredibly difficult to work with, and he couldn't get the sound in Windmill Lane, and your man came up, Larry Mullen recorded here 3 weeks ago, and Bynner was like, he's a jazz drummer, you know, this kind of stuff. So we were dealing with this. So at one stage, we get a phone call, and we carried 35 cavity blocks up 3 flights of stairs to make a studio. Yeah, I was carrying them going, am I the singer in this band? Or what's going on? And we made our manager used to be a carpenter, so we built a house in the studio. We put the bass drum on the house, and Deck hit the bass drum, and Binary goes, no, this isn't going to work. And this stage we're like,
scrap that.
Is there any way we can fire this dude, because this is getting beyond control? And then we moved to another studio in Dublin, same thing, kick drum, no, not going to work. I had a bit of a breakdown, looked into the Liffey, grabbed one of the cavity blocks and went...
We were all pulling them back. You know. No, Brizzy, you have to finish that last chorus, quick.
About that tune, Brizzy.
You've been really lucky. You have been nominated for 3 Meteor Awards this year, but you also won in 2007 for Best Live Act at Oxygen. That must have been an amazing experience. How did that feel?
You know what? We don't say this often, but we did deserve it. We people have to.
Actually, I've heard you say that before, so you say it often enough.
No, we do. I mean, we went in and said, like, it's not an ego thing at all with the band. It's a confidence thing, and if you don't have that, just forget about it.
Yeah, but once you put in the work, you deserve to be confident. Yeah.
But it was the first thing we recognised about the band, is that we had a live chemistry that we have to develop, and you know, we've played in every kind of crap hole you can think of in Ireland to get good live, and for me to get comfortable on stage as a frontman, and for the band to get that, like, it didn't happen by going into a rehearsal studio and spending 6 days a week there. It just doesn't happen that way. We went out, we got booed at, we got, you know, we were all over the shop, but to get our live show right, and for MCD, for the promoter to turn around at that stage and say, we're going to put you on the main stage in Oxygen, our confidence levels just went, you know, because they don't do that as a favour, because, you know, if you're not up for it, or you're not up to it, you're not going to be on that stage, and that was a huge confidence booster for the band. And, you know, to win the award was a recognition for it. Was, you know, finally we kind of went, oh, maybe we are, because people have been saying you're good live. Finally we kind of went, thank God people, you know, were into it and they enjoyed it.
And is it true that you don't drink or anything like that before a gig? That's kind of unusual for, I think, bands these days. Like, are you quite strict on that?
And she doesn't drink.
You don't drink?
No, I don't drink, no.
Really? At all?
No. Well, you know, if that ever changes, you know, don't quote me on that. Like, you know what I mean?
Could happen.
No, well, even if we did have a drink, if anybody had a drink, if the other lads had a drink, it wouldn't be to any excess, you know, especially if it was before a gig.
So you're not going to be doing a Pete Doherty on it? No.
It does mean a lot to us, and it is, you know, it doesn't really mean anything to us if we're going to go up getting drunk, like, and up on stage, because that doesn't mean anything, you know.
The real problem is, let's be honest here, Lynchy, Justin can't hold his drink. He can't hold it. One bottle of Corona, and Justin's nibbling your ear, kind of. And we kind of went, listen, we can't tell him he can't drink before gigs if we don't. So we put our hands up and said, listen, Justin, we won't drink if you don't drink. So we go into the toilet with our cans and just have a few drinks, and Justin sits there going, drinking his herbal tea. So, you know, everybody wins.
Well, your album, The Domino Effect, is out now, and the new single Postcards is also available. So everyone go out and get it, and go see them play live, because they're great. Seeing your favourite band play live is probably the best way to experience their music. So here are some gigs we think you should check out this month. It's always good to have options. So for March the 27th, we have not 1, not 2, but 3 gigs that we recommend you should try and check out. First up, in Crawdaddy, we have Sweet Jane, supported by Tallulah Does the Hula. Then over in Whelan's, we have a double headliner of The Minutes and Sick Boy. Then if you've got the time, pop down to the Button Factory to check out Horsebox. Last seen on the stage at the O2 Dublin with his former bandmate Snow Patrol, Bangor's very own Ian Archer will be playing his own solo material in Whelan's on the 21st of March. And at a recession-busting €12.50, this gig is not to be missed. Get your guy liner ready, because Piano Man Duke Special is playing an all-ages show in Vicar Street on the 25th of March. His shows have been described as theatrical and inspired by vaudeville, so bring the kiddies along, because this is going to be a spectacular evening. A decade is a long time in music, and despite some reshuffling along the way, Bell X1 are still going strong. Hot off the back of their new release, Blue Lights on the Runway, the boys are going to be playing on the 30th and 31st of March in Vicar Street. Yet not content with these sellout shows, they've added more dates in April, as well as playing live at the Marquee in June. Busy boys! If none of these gigs take your fancy, and you're looking for something a little bit more intimate, then maybe live at the Odessa sessions are just for you. Every Thursday in the luxurious surroundings of the Odessa Club, you can see the best of Irish music talent play. And for only €5 in. We caught up with organiser Ollie Cole to find out a little bit more. I'm here with Ollie Cole, who is the brains behind Live at Odessa. Tell us all about where you got the idea from, Ollie.
Well, Owen Foyle, who owns this place as well, he that band Crowded House, everywhere you go, them.
I think we know them, yeah.
So they were passing through and they were doing a gig here, and they wanted to do like a private, secret, gig. So they did it in here. We were all at it. And myself and Owen, who owns this place, we're good friends. We were kind of like, yeah, that's pretty cool. So then he was like, yeah, maybe we should do more of them. So he kind of like just because I knew like people in the like people who play in bands and stuff, he was like, why don't you ask or whatever, you know. So we weren't really sure how it was going to go, but we asked, who was the first person we asked? I think it might have been The Walls or The Stunning or something did the first one.
I remember that, yeah.
And remember Katie Tunstall's band turned up.
That's right, and Monday was here as well. It turned into a big session, yeah.
Turned into a big session. Like Katie Tunstall's band had just came here for a drink, but then they seen it and they were like, can we play? So then that was kind of cool. And then we got, I think the next was like Fionn Regan. And then like after Fionn Regan, Fion's a really good friend of mine, so like I was just saying, would you be into doing it? And he was like, yeah, I'll be into doing it. So then like once Fionn did it, and then Cathy Davey did it, Duke Special did it, and once like people started doing it, then you got people wanting to do it. Then you got people going like, oh, that's a cool thing to do. So but it used to be just once a month, and now it's every Thursday.
And it's getting really, really popular. Like, how do you advertise? I noticed you have the thing on the website on
mostly just
Facebook.
Mostly just Facebook, things like that, because it's quite a small room anyway. It only holds about 120 people, so like I've got about 6,000 friends on Facebook. Yeah.
So popular.
I don't know. I'm quite witty, I suppose. But yeah.
Every moment.
So I mean, generally just between the band advertising on their MySpace or whatever, and us doing a Facebook, that seems to do it really.
Cool. Live at the Odessa every Thursday night now, weekly.
Every Thursday night, yeah. And we're going to start running this club after it as well. Like we're going to, well, I suppose I shouldn't mention the name of it yet because we're kind of in negotiations at the moment. But there's this real young, kind of good DJ promoter guy who wants to. So what we'll be doing is like it'll be a $5 in. Yeah. Like the band will go on around 10 o'clock, but there's going to be DJs and everything afterwards. Cool. And they're going to do this thing like a swap shop thing on the roof, like where everybody brings their old handbags and their old crap, and you can swap it for other people's crap. So
that's going to be every Thursday as well.
That's going to be every Thursday as well.
Oh, deadly.
So we're basically going to change this place. This place is real posh. It's real nice.
You're going to just bring it down a peg or two.
Oh, I'm going to make it filthy. There's going to be drunk girls with polka dot dresses sitting on every step of the stairs, drinking out of naggins.
Classy.
Getting sick in their handbags. Well,
Ollie Cole, nice one. Away now from the world of live music, and let's have a look at this month's news and releases. The end of February saw the release of 2 big Irish albums, U2's No Line on the Horizon and Bell X1's Blue Lights on the Runway. Twitter your thoughts to us here at Irish Music TV. The Dirty Epics dropped in their video for their new single We're Coming Up. Here's a sneak preview, but you can watch the rest on IMTV. Irish bands Alpha States have been quietly working away hard on a follow-up to their debut album, Made from Sand. On April the 17th, they're going to be releasing their second album, Human Nature. And on March the 25th, you can catch the lads playing live in Whelan's to coincide with the release of the first single from the album, Champagne Glass. Tickets for Ireland's biggest music festival are selling out fast. We spoke to Stuart from Hot Press and Laura from MTV to find out why. Hi, I'm here with Stuart from Hot Press, and we are at the Oxygen Festival launch for 2009, and I'm really excited. Are you excited about it?
I think we might actually have a summer.
I think we're going to have a heat wave.
Absolutely, it's very, very nice. I'm in the mood for it already.
Yeah, look at us in our short-sleeve tops.
In our goose pimples.
Ignore them, don't mind them. So what about the lineup for this year? Who's going to be your highlight, do you think?
Well, it's just a fantastic lineup. What I like about it now is the diversity. I like my skinny white boys with guitars, but I like skinny white girls too, and reggae bands and world music bands. It's really broad. I suppose for the more mature music fan, it's great having Jane's Addiction and 9 Inch Nails. Yeah, and you do feel with those 2 bands, will they ever play here again? It's taken them, 10 years to get back to Ireland. This could be their last hurrah. So there's a real sense of occasion there. Obviously Blur, I'm a Britpop boy.
I'm so excited about that. I can't
also
wait.
rather partial to Lily Allen.
I know, yeah.
For her music, and the Saturdays will be there as well.
The Saturdays are going to be there.
The Saturdays, who could be #1 this weekend in the UK. Obviously, Kings of Leon are back. I know they played here every sort of 2 months the last couple of years.
But they're doing really
but
well.
They're
and people love them.
Tremendous live band, and guaranteed festival pleasers.
People have asked me that now. I think everyone's kind of saying Blur because they're back together again. I've never seen them live, and because Oasis are kind of back now, that whole rivalry thing is starting again. I love that though. I love a little bit of controversy.
Like being back in the 90s
again. It is back in the 90s.
Every March, thousands of bands descend on Austin, Texas for the South by Southwest Music Festival. Angela Dorgan of FMC spoke to us about the acts going over.
There are 22 2 Irish bands going this year, which was a total shock to us because we usually look after about 9, maybe 10 bands south by southwest. It's definitely Music from Ireland's biggest international festival that we go to in terms of the international market that we can get access to there, the fact that it's in America, the fact that, you know, no matter where you go in the world, everyone knows what South by Southwest is. And Music from Ireland kind of took over looking after Irish bands at South by Southwest about 4 years ago, and we now have such a great relationship with them that our conversation after last year's festival was, okay, let's bring it up a gear. Because at our party last year we had 300 standby just at our party. Our showcase was full, so they said we'd bring it up a gear, and we were like, great, and we didn't expect them to bring it up like 3 gears.
So it means a lot more work for you.
Well, it means a lot more work, and it means a lot, like, thankfully Culture Ireland, one of our sponsors, has really risen to the challenge with us, and IMRO, another one of our sponsors, we're sponsored by the Arts Council, so they're quite happy for us to kind of take it on as well. So in those terms, it was only going to be a money thing. I mean, I'm thrilled. The fact that, you know, 4 years ago, 3 or 4 Irish bands were going, and now there's 22. We have 4 official showcases. That's never, ever happened before in the history of Ireland at South by Southwest. So it's a whole lot of more work, and it means Dara has to build like 30 sites on our site instead of 8 or 9, but we're just thrilled. It's like,
it's amazing.
Yeah.
And about the bands that you actually get to play at the festival, do they apply to you, or do you go out looking for them?
No, because FMC is everyone's resource, and it's where everyone comes kind of at the start of their career, or comes to us if they have a problem with a deal or whatever. And because we also program hard working class heroes, we don't ever think it's an idea that we're the ones picking the bands. So, and also we kind of didn't want to interfere with the kind of natural selection process, you know, that bands go through. So the festivals that we attend, like Canadian Music Week and The Great Escape and South by Southwest and CMJ and Popcom, it's the festivals pick them. Yeah. And the festivals then come to us before they notify the bands, and they go, okay, these are the bands. You know, sometimes if a band is borderline, they'll ring us up and go, okay, what's their profile, what's their track record? Yeah. Or they'll know to go to the Hard Working Class Heroes site and see if they played at least that at home. And, you know they have a touchstone here. And then they get selected, and we email them and say, you know, we're about to be your fairy godmother for the next 3 months, and here's some money from the government. And we then, so we give, what we always wanted to do is make sure that the bands had cash in hand to go, because that's always what Irish bands need to go to South by Southwest. They certainly have the talent. They certainly have the charm. I mean, Irish, just, you know, being Irish goes such a long way at an American festival. It's unreal.
So how would you sum up the festival into 5 words? The whole experience, for bands, the atmosphere, all of that. Or just madness, I'd say, is it?
Oh my God, you never have to go anywhere else. To feel like you're in a band, to feel like, for me, South by Southwest is not 5 words, sorry. For me, South by Southwest is what everyone has in mind when they join a band and think, I really want to be in a band. Yeah. South by Southwest is the reason you do it.
I think that sums it up perfectly. It's lovely. Thank you so much. That is all we have time for, I'm afraid, in this episode of Reverb. I hope you've enjoyed the show, and thanks for watching.